We cannot allow federal agency, one that was created for the purpose to terrorize, to function as an occupying force in our community. Real accountability starts with abolishing ICE, impeaching Kristi Noem, and rethinking how we enforce immigration policy in this country.
Can I respond to that? Can I respond to that?
No.
Of course not. Look, you want to know why there's 50,000 people in detention? You want to know why we have 1 million illegal entries in the United States? You want to know why we have these issues? Because you have failed to secure the border. You have failed to work with this president to close the 3 loopholes we've asked for 2 years to close. So if you want to know why this issue exists, you need to look in the mirror. You have failed American people for not securing the border and closing loopholes.
In a tense congressional hearing on immigration and border security, Representative Ilhan Omar called for the abolition of ICE, arguing the agency has become harmful to communities. But former Border Enforcement Chief Tom Homan quickly pushed back, firing off statistics and historical examples to challenge the claim. The exchange escalated as Pramila Jayapal was also drawn into the debate, with Homan arguing that Congress cannot demand enforcement while ignoring the policy failures and loopholes fueling the border crisis.
We cannot allow federal agency, one that was created for the purpose to terrorize, to function as an occupying force in our community. Real accountability starts with abolishing ICE, impeaching Kristi Noem, and rethinking how we enforce immigration policy in this country. And we cannot stop there. We must demand that those who are responsible for terrorizing our community are investigated thoroughly, not by the agencies that oversee them, by truly independent authorities. We have seen federal agencies block state investigation, stonewall accountability. This is unacceptable. Our system of justice cannot tolerate a situation where people are killed and only response is silence, spin, or justification from the administration's officials. Minnesota was once known as a place of refuge. Now it has been turned into a war zone by a federal government that has lost sight of the values that make America great. Everything we love, our communities, our rights, our Constitution, our humanity is on the line right now. We have to fight like our future depends on it, because it does.
Is there anything you'd like to respond to what you've heard today?
Yeah, I'd like to respond to Acting Chairman Jayapal and your comment about the Trump administration moving money around for more detention beds. I'd like to remind you, under the Obama administration, we did that most of the years he was president. We moved money around DHS. It's called reprogramming. We did that under the Obama administration. I don't remember any hearings on that. And also, I'd like to remind you that under the Obama administration, I mean, you're quick to point out that the cages were built under the Obama administration. I was there. Family detention, we had 100 family beds under the Obama administration. We built 3,000 more. So when there was a surge in FY14 and FY15 on the border, Congress was quick to give all the money we needed to build detention facilities, get transportation contracts. We reprogrammed money out of the majority of the years he was president. That was fine. Under the Obama administration, FY12, we removed 409,000 people, half of what was removed last year. There was no hearings on that. So this is about transparency. Let's be factual about it.
The time of the gentleman has expired. Since you did address some comments at me, I'll just say that I didn't like it under the Obama administration either. In fact,
well, be honest with the American people. You can't point out faults in the Trump administration when it happened under the Obama administration. That's dishonesty. It's pathetic and it's sad.
Mr. Homan, I control the time, and I am the chairwoman of the committee. Thank you for respecting that. I didn't like it under the Obama administration, and I'll remind you, Mr. Homan, that you also testified before Congress in support of the Obama's Priorities Enforcement Program before the Senate Judiciary Committee on May 19th, 2016, which had a very different approach.
Well, can I respond to that? Can I respond to that?
No.
Of course not.
I want to give you some time, but I do want to ask one quick question, and I want to make one quick statement. I find it very offensive that anybody would compare any federal employee, frankly, to someone who, the Gestapo or running Nazi concentration camps. That is very offensive. I have 15 seconds and I yield it to you.
Thank you for saying that. I wish somebody in Democratic leadership would say that out loud. Look, You want to know why there's 50,000 people in detention? You want to know why we have 1 million illegal entries in the United States? You want to know why we have these issues? Because you have failed to secure the border. You have failed to work with this president to close the 3 loopholes we've asked for 2 years to close. So if you want to know why this issue exists, you need to look in the mirror. You have failed American people for not securing the border and closing loopholes.
Mr. Homan,
Look,
please respect the chair and the authority of the chair. The time of the gentleman has expired.
I've asked you politely to let me go beyond my time, and you let other people go beyond their time, but not to Tom Homan. He don't get me go beyond his time.
Mr. Homan, we have approved an agreement between the Republicans and the Democrats with the ranking member. We increased the time of one member of Congress who was interrupted by a protest. That is done with the approval of the ranking member. Please respect the chair's authority.
I respect the chair's authority, but the chair...
Mr. Homan!
You work for me. I'm a taxpayer. I'm a taxpayer. You work for me.
The hearing began with a tense debate over immigration enforcement and detention capacity inside United States Congress. One witness immediately sparked controversy by explaining a process known as budget reprogramming, moving funds within agencies during emergencies. According to the testimony, this practice is not new and has been used by multiple administrations, including the Obama administration. During the 2014 to 2015 border surge, family detention capacity reportedly expanded from roughly 100 beds to nearly 3,000. Emergency funding was approved, temporary facilities were built, and transportation contracts were expanded. The witness argued that funds inside the Department of Homeland Security were frequently shifted to manage the crisis. His point was simple but politically sensitive. If lawmakers criticize those decisions today, they must acknowledge that similar actions were taken by leaders from both parties during past immigration surges. Another key moment in the hearing focused on deportation statistics. The witness pointed out that earlier administrations also carried out large-scale enforcement operations. During 1 year under the Obama administration, deportations reportedly exceeded 400,000. The testimony highlighted an important historical point. Immigration enforcement did not suddenly begin in recent years. Across multiple administrations in the United States, both Democrats and Republicans have implemented removal policies as part of federal immigration law. The discussion then shifted to a tragic incident connected to a federal enforcement operation in Minneapolis. Lawmakers referenced the deaths of Renee Good and Alex Prey, describing them not as statistics but as members of the community. Alex Prey was identified as a 37-year-old ICU nurse who served veterans at a U.S. Department of Veterans Affairs hospital, while Renee Good was described as a wife and mother active in her local community. Their deaths prompted lawmakers to demand answers about the role of federal immigration agencies and the circumstances surrounding the operation. That moment deepened the divide in the hearing room. Some lawmakers argued that agencies within the Department of Homeland Security require stronger oversight and independent investigations when tragedies occur during enforcement actions. Others responded that United States Congress must also confront its own role in shaping immigration policy and border management. According to that argument, if immigration laws are unclear, if the system becomes overwhelmed, or if policy failures allow border chaos to grow, the consequences eventually reach communities across the United States where enforcement operations take place. The exchange captured the larger national debate, how to balance enforcement, accountability, and immigration policy without ignoring the responsibility shared by lawmakers themselves.